today is from the other woman in my life, Mary Oliver. You both love. The title of the poem by Mary Oliver is When Death Comes. When death comes, like the hungry bear in autumn, when death comes to take all the bright coins from his purse to buy me and snaps the purse shut. When death comes like the measles pox, when death comes like an iceberg between the shoulder blades, I want to step through the door full of curiosity, wondering, what is it going to be like, that cottage of darkness? And therefore I look upon everything as a brotherhood and a sisterhood. And I look upon time as no more than an idea. And I consider eternity as another possibility. And I think of each life as a flower, as common as a field daisy, and as singular. And each name a comfortable music in the mouth, tending, as all music does, towards silence. And each body a line of courage and something precious to the earth. When it's over, I want to say all my life, I was a bride married to amazement. I was the bridegroom taking my world into my arms. When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I have made of my life something particular and real. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened and full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. Richard Grzywinski. Yes, Sister Mary. Richard, stand up when your name is called. Yes, Sister Mary. Richard, have you been studying your catechism? Yes, Sister Mary. Then tell the class, Richard, why did God make us? And speak loudly and clearly, Richard, so the entire class can hear you. Yes, Sister Mary. God made us to know Him, to love Him, and to serve Him in this world so that we may be happy with Him in the next. Very good, Richard. You may be seated. Thank you, Sister Mary. As human beings, we're blessed. We are blessed with the abundance, the wonder, and astonishing mysteries of life. At any one moment, we may observe the architecture of a spider building an intricate web, while simultaneously basking in the radiance of the sun, showering us with life from 93 million miles away. We might observe the rainbow glimmers across a shimmering pool of rainwater in the middle of a road, while hearing the delicate music of a song sparrow in the distant wood. We might feel the delicate softness of a baby's hand and the sandpaper tongue of our loving cat licking our ankles. It is all there whenever and wherever we choose. As I've said on other occasions from this pulpit, it is our observation of all that wonder that creates beauty. It is all in the eye of the beholder. Us. We human beings can constantly create beauty simply by the exercise of our senses, by being aware and savoring each moment. Such is the miracle of our human life. But those same powers of self-awareness and consciousness raise fear and apprehension in our minds and hearts. We know that all of this will someday be taken away from each of us. by the certainty and unpredictability of our eventual biological death. Such a cruel joke, it seems, to give so much and then to withdraw it all so completely, with such finality. And overarching all of our blessings and fears is the uncertainty of our life's purpose, its meaning. Why? The world's religions, in seeking to resolve or explain this dilemma, this puzzle, this conundrum for us, have jumped into the breach and taken command of inquiry to do our thinking for us. But instead of helping us understand, they provide what can best be called palliative therapy. That's what happens when you hang around in a hospital for a long time. You hear these words, palliative therapy. Soothing, simple answers, peppered with mysticism, spirits, rituals, all seemingly designed to prevent us from seeing the truth of who we are, to prevent us from knowing. They encourage us to become preoccupied with death rather than life, preparing for what comes after, rather than relishing the here and now. The Abrahamic religions, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, generally share a common view of the meaning of death. Death, they say, is a footstep into another life, forged by how we have lived our life here on earth, according to the book of rules handed down by an omnipotent and wise creator. And apart from religion, our society itself is driven by a fear-based culture of death avoidance, dreams of immortality, life everlasting. If you sit back and observe our culture at work, it seems to be about slowing the aging process, looking younger than you feel, avoiding illnesses, real or imagined, with any number of remedies, death, threats of death, murder, etc. I looked at the New York Times bestseller list for fiction, the one that is out today. Of the top 15 nonfiction bestsellers on the New York Times list, 8 had to do with dying and murder. On the list for nonfiction, of the 15, 3 of those are about the military operations of the Navy SEALs, 2 about experience with the Japanese in World War II, and 1 about experience with the Nazis in World War II. 2 are written by septuagenarians or octogenarians who describe events in their long lives. We look at that with envy. And 1 about a woman with cancer. One of those 15 books is an amazing, and I use that word begrudgingly, an amazing book dealing with the near-death experience of a 3-year-old boy who encounters Jesus, including observing the wounds in his hands from the cross. The young boy just happens to be the son of a Midwest evangelical minister, and the ghostwriter was the same person who wrote Going Rogue for Sarah Palin. So my skeptical nature wanting to overdrive on that one. Our infatuation with death and dying and our appetite for stories about what happens after we die seems almost beyond satisfaction. So when we die, we attempt to preserve our bodies as best we can using formaldehyde or some of the newer, less environmentally offensive preservatives. Place ourselves in pretty wooden boxes, our heads on a nice, comfortable pillow, then into a cement vault, then into the ground, in a place with a nice, sunny disposition and a good view. Denial, denial. The infamous "to be or not to be" soliloquy in Shakespeare's Hamlet provides the perfect example of our fear of death, where Hamlet uses the metaphor of sleep to describe mankind's darkest fears of death. He says, "To die, to sleep,